Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I would like to specifically talk about painting, as I always do, but this would specifically be about when you're actually going into the painting and actually how to, like, the beginning steps of the painting. Now, I won't be touching on everything like mapping out or how to pick your canvas or how to go into the sketching and everything. I'm skipping a couple steps. I'm going straight into the painting. So, I recently have been doing this painting and it's of me, and I'm reading through this book. I found that I haven't been painting for a while, and this is my first painting, coming back into like painting and getting into the groove of it. And I tried a lot of things to make it look like just a lot of new things, because as especially I've been looking into Baroque Renaissance art, and especially how the techniques of painting and layering paint and really just taking their time and not rushing it, because that is something I find I do a lot. And what I really aim for in my paintings recently, I've been telling myself, make this look as buttery as possible. Let me explain. Especially when it comes to skin tones or just composition in general. Sometimes I look at paintings or you might look at paintings and you think, this is so smooth. This is so buttery. Like, you feel like if you could touch it, it would be soft. Do you get what I mean? Some paintings have that kind of effect. My way of practicing is kind of strange. When I want to practice painting, I practice painting a lot. Like, me normally painting already is the practice, but I practice in my head. I imagine I paint in my head. I'll literally be sleeping, sitting, and I'm thinking about exactly I'm painting, everything mixing and how it's gonna look. And that's kind of my practice. I don't know. So let me talk about some stuff I do. I'll also be putting my past paintings and what I find. Yes, give me a second. Just walked into my room. Mixing the colors for skin tones. Now, first of all, when you go straight into the painting, something that you should try and do is you shouldn't look at the painting as going straight into detail. Because a mistake that I used to make, I will start off with the eyes. I will make the eyes as perfect as possible. And then I'd be like, okay, I could do whatever else for the face, but as long as the eyes speak, so does the painting. And it did work. It worked, but it didn't give me the effect that I wanted. So what I do is start with the light and the dark hues, especially shadows. So first of all, what I would do now is we'll go for like, here I'll go for like a purplish blue. Here I will go for an orange. Here I will go for yellow, orange, pink. If that doesn't make sense to you, I'll do it. I'll show you how it is. And then you just kind of go on with that. You start building on top of it, okay? Now keep building, but not too harsh, okay? Because sometimes you might also find that when the paint is still very wet, as you're trying to build on top of it, it's still rubbing out the paint that was already there and replacing it with whatever you put there. Or it just starts kind of blending. And sometimes that can cause like muddiness, which is not nice. So you just have to very lightly build with thin layers, you know? Sometimes with, like, let me say like a face again, or like any other body, skin or anything, I take a long time, like, let me say like a good 20 layers to fully get to where you really, really want to be. It'll, even more than that, it will pass without you knowing. Paint like you're sculpting. Look at every composition as a 3D model. Hold on, it's really hot in here. How to see colors, okay? And I will be explaining a bit of mild color theory. Now, about color theory, I actually have never been taught color theory. It's something I just kind of picked up over a long time, or like just practicing different stuff. Like, you know which colors look best with what color, which color brings out another color, which color makes another color go back. Do you get what I mean? For example, if I had a bright background behind me, I would look different as to if I had a darker one behind me. Like, I could blend in, or I can make this blend in, or I can make it stand out. Do you get what I mean? So, like, I haven't really been taught it, but I have a good gist and understanding because of experimentation. Now, this is why it's really good and healthy to experiment before you go into what you want to be a final painting. Because then you learn so much about obviously what you want, what you don't like, colors that might even make you feel sick, some might make you feel really good. Try and practice teaching your eyes to see what you think looks good. Because yes, color theory, there's color. If you don't like the look of it, then you don't like the look of it. If you like the look of two colors together, then they go together. Because I always tell people, always say, like, I don't think this color goes with this. I don't think this color goes with this. I genuinely think that all colors go together perfectly. I genuinely think that, like, I saw this painting one time, and I showed my brother, or was it my friend? I don't know. But the main colors were orange, purple, yellow, white, and black. And it was like, this is very I hate the color. I'm messing with the colors, but I think it looks amazing. Now that's fine. Obviously, art is very subjective, but I think what I saw, the person had done it very well. You know why? Because it's not about the fact of colors not looking good together. Every color will look good together if balanced out well. So when I hear color theory and stuff about how, like, oh, this doesn't, no. As, like, if you are able to look at a composition and think about how much black in comparison to how much yellow you would have in it, or if you have small bits of, like, red, if it balances out each other, literally, because you don't go outside, and because outside there are like a jillion colors outside, and you're not like, oh, this park doesn't look like it looks good together because of the color. No. If it's balanced, like, everything is balanced, it will look nice. And you just kind of have to train yourself with that kind of mentality that everything looks nice unless you make it work. Do you get what I mean? Let me take a breath because I just realized I'm not breathing this entire time I'm speaking. So another thing I wanted to talk about as well is a little practice I like to do to help me with my colors, especially with skin tones, and how to paint skin tones. So this requires a lot of staring, a lot of staring when you are talking to people, or if you're sitting next to someone and you're kind of like that. Looking at something, instead of just looking at it, train your mind to start seeing it in colors. You might look at me now and say I'm like right now I'm giving a lot of peach because I'm using new bronzer and concealer. But instead of just seeing that, try and see the orange. Try and see the pink, see the yellow mixed with white, see the orange mixed with pink, see the yellow mixed with orange, white, and blue, which makes like a weird kind of like very light turquoisey. Try and see the purple. Try and see the blue, which you will find purple and blue in a lot of shadows actually. Try and see the brown. Try and see the olive green. Like, even looking here right now, I can see it. I can see it. I can see a bit of green. I can see a bit of green here. I can't see green here, just to let you know that I'm not really just making these up. I can see a tiny bit of green. I can see a tiny bit of blue. Do you get what I mean? So just really just like, as you're looking at something, think about how you can be mixing these colors on the palette. But try and look beyond just the colors that you can, like, explain in your head. Like, explain out loud. You have to try and look at the colors that you can, like, you can see a tiny bit of that, like a hint of that. Because you see some people who have more olive skin, or people, especially with darker skin tones. I have friends, there's some people who have more of an orange tint in their skin. There's some people who have more purples and blues. There's some people who have more reds and pinks. Or some people really just be green. Some people just be green. Another thing can also help you as well, while if you want to paint people, especially, let's say, like your friends or people you know, try and allocate their personalities or who they are to a color. Because some people are pink, some people are, like, just related to their personality, and you find that also helps. Now, this is obviously not very, like, it's not confidential. Oh, goodness. I forgot the word. It helps, because you have to think outside the box, which is easier said than done. But when practiced, becomes very easier done than said. Actually, it becomes as easy as it said. But, just practice seeing things not as they are. Do you get what I mean? Literally everything. Teach your brain to be very I'm forgetting words. What's going on? Yes. Is how to be mindful when mixing colors. Now, this goes more into painting technique and etiquette. I really would recommend that you keep a tidy painting space and a relatively tidy palette. If you're using a palette that you can reuse, please clean it after each painting. Or if you don't leave it long, don't let it fester, don't wait to peel it, just clean it, please. It will make it so much easier. because if it gets too messy, it will get to the point where you're painting and you're looking at a different color and you go to mix, oh wait, that's dry. And it will even get to the point where you might put spirit over it and then you're mixing an old color that you made like 2-3 months ago, and it just makes everything not cute. So also clean your brushes as you're painting, because what you don't want is leftover paint. Again, the same thing with the palette. You don't want leftover paint still on the brushes as you're painting, because then that just mixes your colors weird and it's out of your control. Like if you're like me, who very much wants to have control over whatever the painting does, clean your brushes, please clean them, or else it can also get muddy if you mix it with a darker color and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say today. Another thing is that I will advise you to take my advice, because I was not taught how to paint. Or draw or anything. I just kind of learned over the years. So I've got a lot of trial and error, and I've also heard a lot of BS for some people from that just don't be working sometimes. So exactly. Yeah, I think that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye-bye.